Trader.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of The Rational Investor. This is Julian reporting in with your daily brief for Thursday. As you can see, no green screen. People gave me feedback last show. They said they like the natural background of my place. It is very homey. I enjoy it personally. And I think we need a homey place considering what's happening with Bitcoin. Massive meltdown. So we're going to mostly talk about crypto today. A lot's going on in the stock market too, but I think majority of people are probably invested in some sort of crypto. Maybe we'll take a survey. Let's, you know what? How many people are watching right now? How many of you guys are here? Maybe like 5 people, 1 person. Do you want to start with crypto or do you want to start with the S&P? What's your vote? Whoever's watching. By the way, while I'm waiting for some feedback, I will pull up something I posted in the TRI member lounge right before this happened. I posted this about 3 hours ago, right here, as basically my prediction for what was going to happen with Bitcoin. So this is the tag of 62,800, this area 62,200 or so, expecting. So far we're following this line right here. We did that, and now we're seeing, are we going to get a bit of a bounce to 63,500 before we get one last flush to 6,200 and then we move up, or do we just go straight down a bit more? So I just thought I'd show that. Right now we're at 62,800, and it seems like we're bouncing a bit. You are live on time today. Yes, Rocky, I'm live on time today. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Some kind of twilight zone. This is okay. Look, so looking at the way RSI looks on the 15-minute time frame, this is really terrible. Everything is oversold all the way up to the 4-hour RSI. Daily looks like shit. I'm not saying panic here, but what I am saying is be careful. Consider this is a good area to consider, like taking some profits. And then looking at longs. Taking profits meaning if you're in shorts. So if you're in a short, consider taking some profits and considering longs, because this is the area. Everyone's probably freaking out right now. This is the area where you want to consider picking up some stuff. Let's look at the liquidations right here. So before this, I wish I could go back in time with this chart. I wish I could show you guys. I was watching this. I check this all the time. It's CoinGlass liquidation map. And what I like to do is I like to look on each side by about 1,000 USD and see how many liquidations are on the long side and how many liquidations are on the short side. And if the move only needs, whichever direction the market needs to move, that will have more liquidations. The market is going to move in that direction. Because it's less effort for more reward, if you think about that, right? The market is essentially run by humans or AI machines programmed by humans. If that's the case, that's the theory, right? If that's the case, then humans want to do as little work as possible to gain the maximum amount of reward. So if we apply that to this, we can look at, so for example, are we at 63? Let me refresh it. Where are we right now? We're at 62,800. So if we move to 61,800, or even let's just go to this where this spike drops, right? Let's go to 62,000. So if we drop another, let's go exactly, here. Let's just do 62.07. So if we drop another $700, we'll get 430 million in liquidations. And that's just today. If I do a 7-day, it might be a bit more, but we're going to do the 1 day. Now, if we go the other direction, 700, that's 63,500 right here. We get 500 million in liquidations. So the market is more likely to possibly bottom and not even get these last bits because it's more lucrative to go up first. Or maybe it goes up first and then it comes back down to grab these. That's another potential theory. Looking at this, it looks like the 4 hours already trying to bottom. 15-minute looks really bad. I would say that there's one more leg down, so maybe they do run those liquidations quickly just because they have that downward momentum already. It's easier in that way. You're already rolling downhill. Why not just roll a little bit more? I would be surprised if they don't grab it down here. It's just so, there's liquidity here. Why wouldn't they get it? And then once they do that, then we can go up, right? And if I go to like a 30-day, right? Let's look at a 30-day. Where's all the liquidations? So 30-day, you can see going down. Let's apply the same logic, but to like a 30-day. So if we go to 58, that's 5,000 down. You get 5 billion in liquidations. And if we go 5,000 up, that's 68,000, right? It's basically equal, 5 billion on each side. A little bit more to the upside. So, there's not really much of an edge there, but sometimes you do see where there's a lot more liquidations to one side, and then that's your edge, and normally the market ends up moving in that direction. So hopefully that's a little bit of a fun fact for you. I think there are better liquidation maps out there. There's paid versions, but this is just like a free one that I like to use. I thought I'd show that. All right, let's go back to the charts. So as I said, right, let's look at this right here. So very, very bearish, but possibly bottoming here. It's looking quite oversold. And if we look at this is my uptrend for Bitcoin. So we have these two. It's not perfect. Oh, now I'm on the bigger monitor. I can see it's not perfect. Wait a second. Let's shift a little bit here, right there. That should be like that. All right, that looks better. Actually, our lowest level is 61,200. And we're just tagging this 4-hour 200 period moving average. The 50% level is here. And then our ultimate low for this uptrend line is 61,200. But based on liquidation levels, I would expect us to only go to about 6,200. That would be my safe zone area. I'm also watching things like Rune. Rune's pulled back a lot. It's about to tag. Let me double check. Actually, I want to go all the way to that high. And I'm all the way at this low. Yeah. So it tagged at 61.8 retracement level. That makes sense. That's possibly a good take profit area for Rune if you were short Rune. Could it go to 78.6? Yeah, it could in very fast succession. So be careful with that. There's absolutely no divs happening here in the 4-hour. And this kind of applies to most of the altcoins. So anything I'm showing here, most of the altcoins are going to be like this. How much are we down already? From the high, already down 23%. Solana too. I know a lot of people are interested in Solana. Solana's tagging moving average support. You can see Rune already broke down from it. And it only went past the 38.2 and now it's heading to its 50%. Let's also double check these levels. All right, so I'm all the way to the lows here. Actually, we can go to this low and I'm at the highs. All right. Oh, 50% is right here. I would expect a tag of this 50% level. I'd be very, very shocked if we don't get this tag. And here's why. So very bearish here. Bitcoin's due for one more down move. And if you get that down move with Bitcoin, you should get the down move with Solana as well. Extremely bearish on a 15-minute chart. I've never seen a 15-minute chart look this terrible and not have one more down move. There needs to be, look at this. It moved down and then it just kept going down and just sat in this zone down here. I'm looking to see something like that. 1 hour, there's no time to mark. 4-hour, nothing. We've got a 7 coming in. I don't see why they wouldn't take this out down here. 4-hour, no divergence at all yet. Daily looks like pure disaster. But that's in the short term. That's what I'm seeing. I don't like that the daily broke down here. This is pretty bad. This is horrendous. If we look at a total chart, I'm not going to get rid of that. I guess we'll move from this one. Look at total 3 to give you some idea of Can we do gold? Yeah, we can look at gold, Ahmed. I'm just using crypto, doing crypto to start, because I think a lot of people are interested in it considering the volatility that's going on right now. So if we go to total, right? Total's hitting a 7. And if we look at the entire range, oftentimes I found that total gives a little bit better idea of the move for altcoins than, yeah, so here, oops, we got to reverse it. Wait a second. Okay. So you've got the 7 coming in, same like the other coins we looked at. And we have the 38.2, and you can see how it bounced off that level a couple times. I actually want to bring us in a little bit closer to that. So I'm going to adjust my levels. I always adjust my levels just a little bit to get me closer to those where those tags are. Just like that. So that I'd rather be a little bit early and get my fills than completely miss it, because you know I want to hit the lines exactly. I'd rather have the higher chance of getting that fill. Okay, so the 50% was not hit at all yet. I think we need to hit that. Be surprised if we didn't. Daily, can't really make out much from this on RSI. Weekly has not broken down yet. We're right here. So I need that weekly to stay intact, but it has been in a downtrend. There's been no reversal in MACD. It's still been basically bearish. So this shouldn't be a surprise. And actually, it's a good thing, this pullback, because maybe it helps us to form like a W for the eventual move higher. You could see this as actually a bull flag, right? So if I take that, right, and there's your bull flag. See? Nice bull flag, and hopefully we don't go down too much further, maybe just to here, and then we break out. So this is actually a bullish development. You need this kind of consolidation after such a huge move up. And then after the consolidation happens, and this is like a picture perfect one, you get your move higher. And boom, you take out the highs. And we could even say, right, that this was A, and then up here will be B. And that's where eventually we're going to go, up to about $1 trillion. So we're at 600 billion right now, and you get a further increase of, from where we're at right now, you would increase by about 64%. There you go, not a bad move. Let's go back to the lower time frames. You can see it looks like a disaster, right? If you look on my right hand side, it's just disaster. But I like the divergence I'm seeing on this 1 hour chart. The reason I'm going into so much detail, by the way, on this is because I think that this is an important cross section. And I think there could be some good long opportunities that come out of this. And if you fumble this move, you might miss out on those, and you're going to miss the whole big move higher. But I'm not saying 100% that's going to happen, because if this rolls over and we head lower, then you're screwed. So that's the one thing you have to be careful about. Let me just look at the lower time frames on this, and then we're going to look at the S&P. I want to show you these lines. So right here, and I don't know why my charts are moving really slow. Maybe too many people are using TradingView right now. I'm going to get rid of this line. You can see this is a mess right on 30-minute. Need to go even lower for this kind of move. 15-minute. See, the 15-minute just looks like a disaster. There's no way it's going to reverse right from here. Normally pausing down here, this is a pause before a continuation move. But I guess the question is, how much further does it go? I think we tag the 50% level. I don't really see us going that much further beyond it. But of course, you have to wait to get that divergence, at least on a 15-minute chart. There's nothing right now. This is pure disaster down momentum play. If you're in shorts and you're looking at these lower time frames, I wouldn't close it yet. I'm in shorts right now. I'm not closing them. I'm just holding. I'm just waiting, and I want to see us hit these levels down here. And if we still don't have divs, maybe I'll take like 50% profit here, and then I'll wait for the div to come in, and then I'll take the rest, and then I'll switch to the long side. So that's kind of an inside view of what I'm seeing, where I use fibs to set my levels and put my targets, and then I use momentum to help me, momentum and divergence, to help me determine, do I stay in the trade or do I exit the trade at my level? And then finally, I look at things like liquidation levels, specifically on Bitcoin, to say, okay, do the liquidation levels align with my fib levels? Can I get some like confirmation? Okay, so that's Bitcoin. If you have any questions about it, we can talk about it. I can answer them. I'm going to go back to the normal market, and I'm going to talk about what's going on there. Same rules apply, but I don't really have liquidation levels for the S&P. It would be nice if I did. If anybody has a source, please send me in that direction. Okay. So Powell talked yesterday, and he said a whole lot of nothing. And as predicted, nothing happened. However, a lot happened. It seemed like nothing happened, but under the surface, it seemed like under the surface, a lot happened. But if you were just looking at it, it seemed like that day, not that much happened. But you can see here we had significant moves, right? So here was yesterday where the market basically did nothing, but it was just pausing to finally do something today, which was rolling over a bit. But the 4-hour is still intact, right? And there's no divergence with MACD, slight divergence with RSI. If we go to these lower time frames, right? Still in an uptrend. I can see the slow uptrend of the RSI. MACD looks like crap, but you have a major support level here. This is an important level. If we break down from here, we could get an ABCD move like this, and we could head all the way down here to 52.70. Basically your next support zone right over here. You don't want to see that. If you're bullish, you don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see a bounce and continue higher. I'm okay with this pullback, but I don't want to see much more than this. Let's go to a weekly chart. The weekly did break down. There's your breakdown, right? And what a lot of people are saying is that we're going to get one more push higher, and then the market's going to roll over. But my thinking is we're not going to get that huge push higher. I think we're going to play in this area. We're going to maybe do this, and then we're just going to sit up here for a while. Maybe, so far we've had like, basically I'm going to say 3 days of up, but really it's just 2. And you'll get another 7 days of this to let the market distribute. And then I think we could get a bigger pullback. So prepare yourself for that. Then maybe we'll get one more bounce. And then in September, it's just all hell's going to break loose when the Fed finally lowers rates. Usually when the Fed starts lowering rates, that's when the market crashes. I think something like that is going to play out. I think they're going to use August as a month to distribute. There's time needs to pass to allow market makers to exit their positions. It doesn't happen quickly. You can see here back in 2023 or 2022, we had the big pullback, and then look how long it took before we really had a rally. I mean, it was 6 months, right? How long was this? How many days? Basically from here to here. It's almost a whole year, 280 days for them to load up, to get long, and then for the market to finally rally. So now that the market has rallied, now things distribute faster and go down faster. So for example, here when we topped out, it took 2 months. Okay, and then you had your quick pullback, a little bit of a rally to stop people out, and then the full rollover period. So let's say, this was here. So we're here. So let's say this was the area where they wanted to start distributing. And if we're going to go 75, or let's say 70 days, that means that the market rolls over in September, end of August, beginning of September. And Septembers are historically extremely bearish. So that's the perfect time for the market to stage a rollover. So that's what I'm thinking. In the short term, I'm not super clear about what's going to happen here. I'm not. This pullback was fast, violent. Doesn't look great right now on this 15-minute time frame. Actually looks really bad. This could go lower. This could be a bear flag. Not really actually a bear flag. Take that back. It's not a bear flag. Whatever it is very ugly. You did get a breakout of this downtrend, and what this could be. Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at this, wait a second. What this could be is just a downtrend line breakout. So there was your breakout. And if we look at, right, this 4 hour, as I showed you before, RSI uptrend is intact. So this would actually be a good area to consider a long potentially for the next move up, which if we use this chaos is pointing to 5,841. I don't know how likely that is to happen. We could do something like this, and then we just stagnate in this area for all of August. Maybe we do something like that. I'm not really, I'm a little bit in the dark on where we go from here. I wish I had more to give you guys, but I just don't. I don't like that all of RSI is basically in the red, which means bearish, except for the weekly chart. That concerns me. You know, and MACD on the daily is also shit. But as long as this is intact, I could see us moving higher again. I would just be very cautious in this area. I wouldn't be putting on any new long trades. I would just sit in whatever you were in. If you've been in long trades for a year or 2 years, congratulations to you. Consider starting to take profits, because this market's out of steam. It's out. The question is just, it's not if it's going to roll over, it's when. That's the question at this point. This is just, you can also see this trend line right here. This is a big deal. I think when this trend line breaks, that's when you're going to run into some major issues right there. Adjust it like that. And like that, right? So this is that trend line. I'm actually going to save this, lock it, and make sure to save. Yeah. So I like looking at this trend line. I think it's a good sign that the market saved this trend line. And as long as it stays above that, I don't think you have to worry too much. But like I said, if you've been long since, say, even down here, fall of 2023, you might want to consider taking some profits. Okay, so that's the S&P. NVIDIA is basically doing the same as the S&P. Apparently Nancy Pelosi bought more NVIDIA, so higher chance that NVIDIA heads up rather than down. Maybe that's our sign that the market's going to head higher, because Nancy Pelosi is always right. So why would she buy more if it wasn't going to go higher, right? Unless now it's a psyop because so many people know about her trades that she's like, okay, well, let's just do this to throw them off. It's possible, right? A little bit of tinfoil hat theory. That's NVIDIA. Still seems to be in a bit of a downtrend. This daily 4 hour needs to break out. Until that happens, I wouldn't get too bullish on the tech sector. Need to see NVIDIA on the other side of this trend line. Ironically, you do have a 15-minute 789, but no div on the MACD, and RSI also looks like crap. So, a bit concerning. Boeing, I realized with Boeing that this looks really bad. Like, speaking of bear and bull flags, this actually looks like a bear flag right here. Like this is essentially a bear flag. And this is the ABCD right here. So this is this move all the way down to here, from here to here. And then this is the next part of the move down here to like 90 bucks. Boeing just came out with earnings the other day, right here. And you can see that they surprised 50% to the downside and 2.7% for revenue. But the earnings for that quarter are just disaster. And they did a fake out. Here was your fake out to the upside. So they took out all the highs going back all the way back, I mean, to March. So April, May, June, July, August, September. Yeah. So they took out 5 months of trading and then quickly reversed it. If that isn't a sign, I don't know what is, that they're getting ready to just drop this lower. So if you're considering puts, maybe Boeing is a good one to consider some puts on. Could be very lucrative. I could see this breaking down anytime now. I guess in September when the rest of the market breaks down is probably when this will happen. So something to keep an eye on. I'm actually going to set an alert right here on 176 if Boeing kind of breaks that. I can maybe grab some 6-month puts in the money puts. Okay, so that's Boeing, that's NVIDIA. I know people are super interested in gold and silver, so maybe we look at some silver. How much time have I been going for? About 26 minutes in. Well, let's do this really quick first. Investor sentiment, I don't care about. Let's look at expiry tomorrow. 560 calls, 552. 550 seems to be max pain area. So we're at 5463. And if they want to hit the max pain, so they had to pull it back, right? And if they want to hit max pain, they just close it basically right up here. Just a little bit of a rally. That's what you can expect. Okay. By the way, look at how Rune just keeps going down. It hit our 61.8 target and even went a bit below it to 382. So there you go. Even though Bitcoin didn't make a new low, but Rune did, and Solana also made a new low. Look at that. So they don't always move perfectly with Bitcoin, but when you get a sharp move down like this, there is more down to go. There is more. And actually, I had a take profit set. I have a Rune short going on, and I had a take profit set, but I'm gonna remove it because this looks worse than I expected, and I think this can get really bad. This could go all the way down to 350. Like get one of those quick moves where it's just like this, doop, and there we go. I could see that happening. And maybe we just go to the 360, 358 area. But I could see this is just the momentum is so much that it's the possibility is there. Of course, it's always a maybe, Cotter. We're always playing with percentages, right? I'm saying this is likely to happen because I've seen it happen many times before, but it doesn't always happen. So there's a chance that it maybe doesn't happen. There you go. Okay. We can look at silver. Here's your downtrend. Right, like that. Get rid of this. So, okay, one thing I want to note is the weekly is still intact in an uptrend. Weekly uptrend. MACD is not pretty, but RSI looks fine. Just a normal pullback, healthy pullback, consolidation. The daily looks like poop. So not a big fan of what I'm seeing on the daily here. Check some lower time frames. Yeah, this daily doesn't look great. And you're bearish on every time frame except for the weekly. I think you want to target longs on pullbacks. This was a major support level of mine, by the way. And these are support levels down here. I'm going to get rid of some of these lines just because I think they're adding to confusion. Yeah, the daily is still bearish. 4 hour was bullish. You're getting a bit of a pullback. I could see a move higher from this level. I think we're kind of just retesting it, and then we can move up. That's kind of what I'm seeing. My target hasn't changed. It's still this 35 area up here, right here. So that's what I'm looking at. I think silver is just kind of pulling back, consolidating. Let's look at US dollar since we're talking about silver. Let's look at, yeah. So remember this downtrend line? I really thought the US dollar would push higher, and it's just sitting here forever since April. A little bit annoying. Let me get rid of some of these. Look at these lines. This is a mess. Who is managing this chart? What is this? This is just madness. Sorry guys, I'm cleaning it up to make some sense of this. Get rid of all of this nonsense. All right, so this is the daily. Slowly heading nowhere, it seems. So honestly, it's not clear. When the weekly chart looks like this, and it's this close to the VIP line, you're in no man's zone. And it's not a surprise that the dollar has done nothing. If a stock or a crypto or anything, the weekly chart is there, you expect it to range, and then you just trade the range. Like that's all you can do. And that's exactly what's happening here. It's just ranging, and just trade the range. And if you go and look back on previous daily briefs, I have showed you kind of how to trade the range. It's not that difficult. You just have to determine, is it a range or not? That's the hardest part. Are we in a range? Are we trending? If you're in a range, great. Trade it like a range. If you're not in a range and you're trending, okay, trade it like a trend, which means just make sure you get the trend right and then just freaking hold. Don't do anything. Just hold until you get to your targets. It's that simple. Okay, we're 32 minutes in. I'm supposed to like stop here and we just go do the after party. So I think I hate like stopping the momentum and then going, but it's what we have to do. We are going to look at switching this up. We're talking as a team, and we may go back to, just sometimes doing public shows, and then mostly doing like private shows, just to like give you a full 1 hour show where we talk through the whole thing rather than this like 30-minute cutoff, and then we do the after party with another 45 minutes. So something we're reconsidering. Anyway, if you're interested in looking at TLT, some crypto coins, looking at maybe I'll go into gold and anything else you guys want to look at, and you're not a member of TRI, consider signing up for a free trial. And that's it. And everybody else that is a member, thank you guys. I will see you in the after party in like 5 minutes or right away. See, I'm not going to get up, I think.